So let's talk about something that I wouldn't do, and I'm going to do a series here. Let's call this part one of the things that I would not do, particularly as someone who specializes in estate planning, etc. One thing I'll never do is to take my immovable property and get it registered in the name of my minor child or of my child when I'm still alive. Most people tend to do this, for example, with the intention that when they pass away, at least they know that their children won't have the burden of changing, the ownership. It has to be transferred at the deeds office again, so that it's in their name when you passed away. So parents would then say, you know what, I want to make things easier for my kids. I don't want them to have a headache. Rather, let me just transfer it right now. And the reason why I will never do this is because I've seen the consequences of this. Number one, I've seen parents being kicked out by kids because, they now know that they are the owners of the property, right? Then they start saying, this is my property. This is what I want to do. There's nothing that a parent can do. And number two, I've seen kids sell such properties. Mother is still alive. But now the child finds out property is theirs and they are of age and they decide to sell it. And often parents would want to, seek legal advice and say, but don't I have a right to stop this? Remember, you took away ownership from you. You gave it to a child. So now it belongs to them. They have a right to do what they're doing with the property now. And another reason why I would definitely not do this is because circumstances change. Right? And I've seen this as well with a lot of parents who've done this. They changed the property, named the child, but now they'd like to sell the property because there's a situation. But now, because this property belongs, sometimes it would belong to a minor. The process of, selling a property belonging to a minor. It's a bit of a cumbersome one. And even with regards to the funds, there's going to be issues there. So then you'd find that people are having now debacles. Right? Changing ownership to your child is not something that, that can be reversed. It doesn't mean that you still have control. You may still have control when the child is a minor because you're taking care of it on their behalf. But once they turn 18, they are fully in charge of that property. So that's why I would definitely not move such a property into the name of my child. Rather, if I want to save my kids the stress of having to transfer this property to their name, I would rather place it in a trust, right? In that way, it's out of my personal name, it's in the trust. Then at least I also have a benefit in this property, and they also have a benefit. And also, when I'm not there, they don't have the burden to change anything. It's already under the trust. Number two, they will still benefit from it. So at least that issue or whatever it is that you were concerned about is done away with, right? That way you're safe, they're safe. Because one thing you don't want is to be kicked out of your own property by your own child. It is not nice. I have seen it. We'll go to part two.